Yo, team, how you hanging? Boy, do I have something for you. Boy, do I have something for you today. So, I had a little bit of a mental breakdown last night. Just kidding. Ah, just kidding. I'm mentally healthy. Anyway, um, I had mental breakdowns usually have an upside. The upside of this one was that um, I had this like crazy idea. So, let's talk about it. Let's go over it. What happened? Well, I was thinking about how when, we're beings in, you know, in a human sense, we're human beings, but, there's other beings here with us. We got a doggy. That looks like a mouse. You know what? Never mind. We're just calling it a mouse. Okay, so we've got the human being, we've got the mouse being, right? We've got the bug, we've got the spider being, right? But we've also got, now we're getting a little bit hippie here, but we've got the tree being, you know, we're all beings. Every little thing is a being. Depends on your belief, really. Oh, you need consciousness. And the mouse maybe has consciousness, the spider maybe has consciousness, the tree maybe has consciousness. We don't know because we're human, so we don't know if uh, these other beings are even beings. But we have a decent idea. You talk to a vegan, they definitely think that the mouse is a being. They definitely think that animals are conscious. They have consciousness. Depends on who you're talking to. Regardless, doesn't matter. Forget all that. I just wanted to explain the idea that a human is a subset of this larger set. That's not a good drawing. The human is a subset of this larger set of beings. Okay? So the human is a part of all beings. So I was thinking the other day that, we exist in this universe and hmm, and one of the strangest things that I'm starting to realize is that, okay, well, our universe is primarily dualistic. We have light and dark. Everything is either, light or shadows. I mean, look at everything we do. Look at the fabric of reality. You study physics, you study metaphysics, you learn these things. Um, Everything's light and dark. We live in a dualistic universe. Our universe, for whatever reason, wants things to be split in two. Um, or maybe our observation of the universe um, only allows us to perceive it in twos. So you get your yin and yang type behavior. You get your yin and yang type philosophies from this universe, as you would, which is cool. So one of the things that I want to expand on, and like I agree with the whole dualistic nature of the universe. I think it's up for debate whether it's like a human being's observation of the universe or if it's intrinsic to the universe itself. But that's kind of another conversation. Let's go on. So, what are our five senses that we operate in this universe? We've got, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and then obviously hearing. Or wait, that already said sound. What the? Oh wait, we only have 5 senses. I always think we have 6 senses, but that's just the movie. Anyway, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. Okay, those are our 5. Those are the 5 attributes. Those are the 5 perceptions that a human being could have. Okay, that a human being can have, and to be honest, every other being on Earth that we've found so far. So, if we go back to the mouse, it's fair to assume that they have sight because they have eyes. It's fair to assume that they have sound, they have ears. They definitely have smell. They smell that cheese, right? Taste, they taste the cheese. Touch, they touch the cheese. Okay, so we go down to even like something that's like not a mammal. You go to like a snake, and it's like, okay, well, they definitely have sight because they have eyes. Maybe, I don't know if snakes have ears. They probably do. Sound, right? Scent, definitely. Taste, probably, right? So these senses can be, broken down a little bit further. Like I've heard there's this one shrimp that can see like 100. They can see like a whole spectrum of light that we can't. They can see a whole bunch of colors that we're not even able to see, or something like that. So I'm not saying that like we're the end all be all sensory perception of the universe, but like we have this set of senses, and this set of senses is shared among other beings here and on Earth, and most likely, in this universe. I think if we were to find aliens on another planet, they would most likely share some of these senses with us. Why? Because think about how an intelligent species would evolve um, on a planet, right? An intelligent species would need to evolve in a similar. It would need to. It would need to work in a similar way to us. Why do I say that? Because I think survival is universal to this universe. Survival is universal to this universe. So, in order to survive this universe, you can't get touched too hard, because if you get touched too hard, you die. Um, if you see too hard, if you like stare at light, or like if you get touched too hard in the eye, you die or you go blind, and then you're basically dead. Um, Not saying that blind people are dead, but like thinking back to um, when times were less civilized, if you didn't have your eyes, you probably weren't gonna make it. You're probably gonna get eaten by a bear or something. Um, Again, just trying to make the argument that survival on Earth would be roughly similar to survival on another planet. Now, I'm not saying that the conditions wouldn't be vastly different and that their appearance wouldn't be vastly different from our own, but I'm saying that, okay, let's just say that their planet was super, super cold, okay, but they evolved some sort of um, super thick skin or fur coat or something, and they just can survive off of they've adapted in that way. I'm not saying that the adaptations aren't going to be different, but I'm going to say fundamentally they're still going to operate on the 5 senses. Um, their spectrums might be different than ours. They might be able to like see different colors. They might be able to like hear different things. They might not even be able to hear the frequency of our voice. You know how dogs can hear like really high pitched noises we can't even hear. Maybe they talk in those high pitched frequencies that we can't even hear, and like that's their range of that's the range that their ear picks up for whatever reason. Again, who knows? We haven't discovered any aliens, but that's just one. That's just like our universe. Okay, light and dark. Aliens. they're gonna understand what light and dark is, because that's just we have stars. We have stars. Okay, if they don't know what they're gonna have to know what stars are if they're of this universe. If they're in our observable universe, then they have to know what stars are. Okay, so they're gonna know light and dark. If they know light and dark, maybe they'll be dualistic because they have eyes, and eyes see light and dark. So it's really tough to say. It's really tough to say like what levels they're gonna be on, but if we discovered a race that was similar to us, it'd probably look like a very similar framework. The light and dark dualistic framework, the five sense framework. Now, let's open up another universe. Okay. Let's open up another universe. And there's some sort of other being in this universe. We don't know anything about them. But they could have their own set of senses, you know. Who knows what these are? Maybe for them it's like the three fundamental senses, and their universe is made up of like only one thing or something like that, right? And we'll never understand. We'll never be able to even get to this universe. Um, because they just operate. We can't even imagine what these senses are. Maybe they have more. Maybe they have five senses too, right? Who knows? It's impossible for us to know because we can only know within our perception. So these five senses, we can only derive knowledge from these five senses. So we would never even know what's to know about these five things. We can only speculate and guess. Now, I've drawn this diagram with these two universes separate from each other. But, so, we're having like observable universe 1 and observable universe 2. And I used observable loosely because obviously observable would require some sort of observer, which is a word that might not even make sense in this second universe. So that brings me to the final point of these universes aren't separate at all. These universes are actually on top of each other, overlaid onto each other, and we coexist with these beings. They're just out of our sensory perception, and we are out of their sensory perception, and we actually uh, we coexist with them simultaneously, and they may even be on this planet right now. They may even be occupying the same space as you, and they know nothing about us, and we know nothing about them. But they're there, and you can't disprove it. I can't prove it, but you can't disprove it either. So I just thought that it was a really interesting idea. Ghosts. That's ghosts. They're just beings, other beings that don't share your set of senses. We have no set of senses in common. They might not even have bodies in the traditional sense that we understand them as. They but that doesn't mean that they don't have consciousness. It doesn't mean that they don't have consciousness. There could be a conscious being right here. Right here. Right next to you. You'd never know it. Next. Again, the the references our language isn't gonna have the right words to describe what exactly is talking about here, because we're not allowed to. We can't speak outside of our senses. We can't speak outside of our limitation. We can just bring it right to the edge. So I thought I just wanted to share that with you guys. I thought it was a cool idea. Um, Comment below what you think. Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in interdimensional beings? Because that's another idea with what these really are. I think ghosts is kind of a it's kind of a childish term. Uh, I mean, this is clearly just another universe um, that could be even shared or overlaid on our universe, and we could be completely coexisting with these beings who may or may not be conscious. Food for thought. Food for thought. Um, what's even crazier is that there could be an infinite amount of these other universes. So this is, we have these square conscious beings. Well, over here you can't see it, but we'll have, our triangle conscious beings in universe 3. And here's universe 2 and there's universe 1, right? So in reality, this could go on forever, until universe n, however many you want, and this just becomes whatever. You have an infinite number of universes overlaid on each other, which just creates one universe. And in each micro universe, you have conscious beings that have different sets of senses, and um, they all occupy the same global universe set of they occupy this some universe in this set of all universes. um and what it boils down to is that there's infinite consciousness. There's infinite consciousness. This atom of air, this atom of air is conscious. There's infinite consciousness all around you at all times. Every there's every little thing is conscious. This microphone is conscious. The atom, the electron is conscious. The Higgs boson particle is conscious. And at the same time, my hand is conscious. The skin cells on my hand, they're all conscious. My hair is conscious. The plant is conscious. Wrong way. The plant is conscious. Everything is consciousness, and it's always conscious at all times. So yeah, thought that was a cool idea. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out.